Have you ever met someone who argues with absolute certainty but doesn't make any sense? She speaks loudly. She acts convincingly. She repeats the same arguments over and over again. And no matter how much evidence you present, she never backs down. At first glance, it seems like arrogance, but psychology points to something deeper and much more unpleasant. Extreme self-confidence combined with superficial thinking is often a sign of low cognitive abilities. Not always, but often enough for scientists to study it for decades. Let's examine scientifically proven habits that subtly reveal a very low IQ. First, excessive confidence without understanding. Psychologists call this the Dunning-Kruger effect. This is a cognitive bias in which people with low abilities greatly overestimate their competence. The reason is simple. They lack the knowledge to see their own mistakes. In other words, they know too little to realize how little they know. That's why they sound so confident when they speak. They argue like experts. They use harsh language. They quickly devalue their interlocutors. But if you listen more carefully, there is no structure. There is no logic. There is no depth. Smart people doubt. They clarify their wording. They say, "I may be wrong," or "this is worth checking." People with low IQs almost never doubt, because doubt requires understanding. Second, lack of curiosity and desire to learn. Curiosity is one of the strongest indicators of intelligence. People with high IQs are drawn to complex things. They ask why. They explore ideas, even if they challenge their beliefs. People with low IQs do the opposite. They avoid new information. They get bored quickly. They reject unfamiliar ideas without even trying to understand them. Learning is perceived as a threat because new knowledge exposes gaps. So instead of developing, they defend ignorance, presenting it as a virtue. You hear phrases like, "I don't need this. This is complete nonsense. I already know everything. This is not true." It's fear. Third, black and white thinking. Psychologists call this cognitive rigidity. People with low IQs find it difficult to work with nuances. They are unable to hold two opposing ideas at the same time. They cannot tolerate uncertainty. Therefore, the world is simplified for them. Good or bad, right or wrong, us or them. No gray areas, no context, no compromises. That is why complex topics irritate them. Politics, economics, history, psychology. Everything that requires multidimensional thinking is reduced to slogans. A simple mind needs a simple world. Fourth, poor emotional control. Studies consistently show a link between cognitive ability and emotional regulation. People with low IQs react instantly. They are easily offended. They raise their voices. They interrupt. They flare up over trifles. They don't pause. They don't think through their reactions. They don't correct themselves. Emotionally mature people observe first, and only then do they respond. It is in this pause between stimulus and response that intelligence resides. Without it, behavior becomes chaotic. Fifth, constantly blaming others. This is called an external locus of control. People with low IQs believe that life just happens to them. They are never to blame for anything. The blame always lies with society, circumstances, enemies, conspiracies, the system. They do not analyze their own decisions. They do not adapt. They do not develop. Because development begins with acknowledging mistakes, and that threatens the ego. So they get stuck, the same problems, the same conflicts, the same life. Sixth, inability to accept opposing opinions. Any disagreement is perceived as a personal insult. Instead of curiosity, aggression. Instead of dialogue, defense. Instead of arguments, insults. Why? Because real discussion requires effort, and effort exposes weaknesses. So they close themselves off, they ridicule, or they attack the person, not the idea. This is not strength. It is insecurity masked as confidence. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A low IQ has nothing to do with diplomas, grades, or vocabulary. It's about how you think. Do you question your own beliefs? Do you change your views when new evidence emerges? Are you able to tolerate uncertainty? Do you double down on flawed ideas just to protect your ego? The most dangerous thing about low intelligence is that the lower it is, the less you notice your own flaws. Self-reflection is a true indicator of intelligence. If this video made you think for even a second, that already sets you apart. Because the ability to think is intelligence. Keep asking questions, keep learning. Then, if you're interested in understanding the hidden psychology of human behavior, you already know what to do next. If you found this video useful, support it with a like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Well, thank you for listening.